Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I trust you all having a wonderful day. I am Gigi, and I have my partner, Andrea, with me. And I also have this wonderful guest, Chris, who is a conscious content creator, a writer, a speaker, and who is inspired and on a mission to create a healthier, wealthier, and wiser society. And I am so excited to have him here. And as well as Andrea, we cannot wait to hear from him, all his what he does. And we are super excited to have him here with us. And I'm sure everybody will enjoy us on Facebook. And let's hear from him. How are you?
Fantastic. Always a good day when you're alive. How are you guys?
We are wonderful. Andrea, how was your morning routine? We always start with what we do for our 90 days challenge to inspire
Everything.
1,000 people by taking action with our success journeys.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think it's awesome that you're actually putting yourselves out there. And really, this is going to make sure that you are held accountable because you gotta show up every day.
Yes. Andrea, we can't hear you. I think your speaker is not working, honey. And I want to point out that Chris is also part of our mastermind group, so we never alone. He always keep us excited and keep us alive. And I can't wait to hear to share his energy with our friends today. Andrea, you back?
I'm back.
All right. Share with us your morning. How was your day? How was your morning?
Oh, I got to sleep in today, an unusual, different kind of day. And so I had a wonderful meditation, wonderful affirmations. It was just very relaxing. Slow start, the way I love it. I love it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I personally, I had my 30-minute meditation today. I am super excited about that. Yes. I had my 30 minutes meditation, cut on a little bit shorter with my 15 minutes affirmation. I think I had like 10 minutes on that one, and along with everything else. But I am so excited about my 30 minutes because it's hard to get that 30 minutes. So and that was wonderful. And Chris, are you also going through the 90 days challenge right now?
Yeah, I'm currently on day 71.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, currently on day 71, and I made the decision 2 days ago to do my best to change my habit of when I'm getting up. So I've been getting up, moving towards trying to get up at the 5 a.m. So far, I've gotten up at 5:45, and we're getting there. But it's been a little bit of a struggle, some habit to create because my body clock is so used to the way I was doing things before that I've had to sacrifice sleep in order to sort of push and force my body clock into a new way.
Mhm.
So I'm running on low sleep, but it's sometimes you have to struggle in order to create a new you. So it goes for many things. Yeah, like the 90-day program, you're going to come and face a lot of terror barriers. There's going to be a lot of times where there's going to be pressure points,
Yeah.
but those are important.
I would love to hear your journey with our friends on Facebook so they can understand where we're going to go through a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was definitely a few terror barriers along the way. And for me, I think the first terror barrier was around day 22 to 25. So that was when my mind started thinking, oh, what am I doing here? No, why am I doing this? Do I want to do this? Is it necessary? But there's always that voice that's going to say that it's the current paradigm that's attached to a certain way is questioning the conscious desire to create something new, and it doesn't want to let go or fade away because it's an entity, right?
Yes.
So it does its best to survive and to cling on. And I notice this when I go swimming. myself and Lloyd, we've been swimming out to the buoy. And at the beginning, we didn't do that. We just get in the water. We just swim around in the shallow ends, and it's quite cold. So you got to first acclimatize yourself to the cold and remain calm in a stressful situation. But as we were doing it habitually every week, we then got the confidence to swim out to the buoy, which is the float, things that float on the water.
Yes.
And it was quite far out, about 200 to 300 meters. And so we're swimming out, and we get to the buoy, and it's exhausting, and then we have to swim back, and the current makes it harder to get back. And again, there's that voice, there's that, your brain is built to survive. And so whenever you have that limiting voice or that fearful voice, it's just the way your brain is built. It's like, I don't know if I can do this, Chris. Maybe you need to call a lifeguard. I don't know, man. But, there is another intuitive voice, which is the conscious voice, which is just more connected to the vortex, which Esther Hicks talks about, whereby when you're in the vortex, you can just observe these thoughts without an attachment to those thoughts. So with practice through meditation, you learn this through your 90-day challenge. When you get used to entering that vortex, you can then, in any moment in your life, become better at disconnecting from those thoughts. So when I was experiencing those thoughts, I started kind of disconnecting and observing them and just saying to myself, no, just relax. You're going to make it back inevitably. You don't have to rush. If you're tired, just keep floating and just keep knowing that you are going to make it back, because people have done this,
Yes.
And so you'd always get back. But it's very funny because we've done this a few times now, and each time those fearful voices are getting quieter and quieter and quieter. And so that's the perfect example of why you keep doing things habitually. Stop.
Wow.
Right,
Exactly. Wow. It's exciting to hear that, because for us, just starting out, this is like, for me, this got to be like the biggest goal that I ever set for myself. And I am truly moving by faith on a lot of the steps that I'm taking, because I was inspired, and she was also inspired. She was inspired to reach out to me first, and then I was responding to her idea. Just something got in both of us, and it was like, you know what, let's do it. And she is not comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with it, but we just taking that steps. And what we notice is that actually, they always say, help others. So in that way, you won't be, focusing on your own problems. So for us to take this action, it's like, oh, we got this.
We're growing, girl. We're growing.
Yes, we are growing. Every day when we show up, that's how we feel every day, and we just want to be able to make a difference other people's life. Now, I did say that you are a conscious content creator. Can you give us what that means, actually? Because not everybody can understand that.
So I guess most content creators in the world are creating content for entertainment purposes with probably zero value towards people's health, both physically and mentally. And they're just creating content just for the sake of it, I guess. So we see these movies, and they're fun to watch. I get that. But, not all these movies are giving you the right imagery or the right belief system or the right knowledge, right? So from my perspective, my content, the reason why it's conscious is because it has considered what kind of message is going to be the most constructive and positive message that I can give out. And so my most recent project was a 121-day video series. My whole thinking about it was going to be a play on the whole 11/11. Like, have you ever seen 11/11 on the clock and you're like, keep seeing 11/11?
I did today.
Right. There you go. And my t-shirt says 11. So I've been fascinated by numbers for a few years now, and there was a point where I started wondering, is this the way that the universe speaks to me? Is there a way that I can read this like a language? So I started doing that for a few years. But 11/11, what I've always seen 11/11 as is that if we think about the vibration of one or what one means, right? One is pretty much everywhere. And, you know, when people talk about the source and they talk about the universe, I mean, uni is one, right? So we talk about oneness, being together as one. When you're in the mastermind, you're collaboratively working together as one. So everything revolves around the one, right? So when we are in the vortex, you could almost say that it's the zero. There's the nothingness. There's nothing there at all. So you either have the black hole or the vortex, which is nothingness, or you have existence, reality itself, which is the one. It's all one. And then we are filled with all of these different illusions in life, which cause multiple separations infinitely.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have twos, threes, fours, multiply, 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 multiply. And so the 1111 is just a reminder that you are part of the one, and therefore you are a creator in essence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as a creator, being the one and seeing the 1111, the recurring ones, it's just a reminder that your thoughts create things, your feelings create things, because you are a creator. So with my series, what I was doing was I was doing 1 minute video every day, and in that 1 minute, it was my goal to share some positivity, some message that would uplift somebody for their day. So I would do my best to do it in the morning. Sometimes I do it in the evenings, but it was much better if I do it in the mornings because people are just about to go to work. That's when they need it most. So my idea was to do that. And then on the 11th day, I wouldn't make a video and I would actually write an article. And so I wrote an article, and every 11 days would be a chapter. And so the first 11 days were gratitude.
Mm.
Then it was awareness or courage. I can't remember the order now, but it went so on and so on. And then the final chapter, I did it on creativity, because creativity is a major part of what I called God mind. Okay.
Mm.
So essentially, if you think about it, if you add all of those minutes up, including the introduction, it's actually 111 minutes. So it's 111, and you've got 11 chapters. And so I thought through anyway, and it all came together. And I'm thinking about turning the articles into a book now next, and seeing what I can do, if I can expand on them.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking about it, but we'll see. But the point is that my goal was to do my best to raise the vibration just by sharing a positive message and giving little bits of insight, but in such a way that's positive, you know, and making people feel good, and communicating it in a way that is relatable. You know, the videos were not super great quality. You have a lot of content creators out there that their videos are great quality, and I love that, and I would aspire to be that. But sometimes it's better if it's relatable. And there was an underlying message that I was trying to convey, that through consistency and committing to an ideal, committing to completing something, sometimes you won't show up on a certain day as well as you showed up the day before. That doesn't mean you stop. It just means you flow with it. Okay, today's video wasn't as good as yesterday's video, whatever. Tomorrow's video might be different, and so on and so on. And two people actually told me, they came to me and they suggested, when I was like halfway through, I said, have you considered maybe not posting every day? Or maybe because maybe your audience, so they were thinking of it from the perspective of building an audience, right? And I get what they're saying. However, they missed the point. So the point is that it's not supposed to be fantastic. It's not supposed to be well made or build an audience. The point is that it's an underlying message, and it's a body of work that will be there forever once it's completed. And it's the same with what we're doing right now with this 90 days program. It doesn't matter if, for example, you build a team or you don't build a team. Obviously, we want to do that. We want to find like-minded individuals, but you're going to learn, you're going to grow regardless.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
This is why why I started the 90 days, is that I needed that discipline. I needed to make sure that I was getting things done every day. I have a habit of most of it, that I do it throughout the day, but when you ask me what time or how much time, or not that those things are important, it doesn't matter. I just needed the structure. And I found that I get more accomplished. My days, I feel accomplished, because when my days are disorganized, then I'm not sure if I got anything accomplished that was worthwhile. I'm uncertain. Does that make sense?
For
And
sure.
in this, it's more structured, and I'm able to keep up with things better. It's there's so many benefits. It's amazing.
It's
I love
amazing.
it. I love the discipline, but I'm a disciplined type. I like that, make me better, So that's what it's doing.
Absolutely.
It's working.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's working.
absolutely. For me, what I did before Andrea actually reached out to me and she asked me, "Do you want to go ahead and start this?" I set a goal to start in the beginning of the month. So I start getting up. Well, I've been getting up early. Like this year, actually, I've been getting up like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
So, but this month, in the beginning of this month, I say, you know what, it's going to be day one to start this 90 days journey. But what's the difference between the time she contacted me and before that is I wasn't doing the proper step every step, and I wasn't recording it. So I can imagine if I had continued that way, I would not have I would not have moved as fast as I'm moving now, and also I would not follow that step. So it is best to absolutely to jump on it, and it's best to find a partner who is going to make it easier for you by putting that beautiful smile. Look at that beautiful smile.
Andrea has got a big smile, hey?
Yes, she does.
And my teeth dry out because I'm smiling so much.
Must be that. It's that American dental care. That's what it is.
That's interesting. That's exciting. So, we've been discussing about the power of the subconscious mind, and that's one of the book actually. It opened up the door for me. I read Think and Grow Rich, the science. I read Think and Grow Rich, the science of getting rich, all those wonderful books. But it didn't click for me actually until I picked up this book, and it makes sense for me. And I wasn't experiencing anything worth a while actually in my life. Then this book was just explained to me, everybody has that one book that's just going to touch them. And for me, it's this book. So when when I asked Andrea, at first I said just to her, I want us to start with a book. So can we start with the Science of Getting Rich? She was like, yeah, but you know what? In her heart, it wasn't clicking. So I follow up with her later on and I said, can we start with the power of subconscious? Yeah, I was thinking the same way. So for us to have even that, personal level connection, heart to heart, for me, it become like such a big deal. And that's what it does when you have actually that, harmony mastermind or, group of people that are working, together. So, and that we've been discussing about it, and we on chapter 2. Can you share with us, because we've been going through a lot about the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and if you can just give us your input on that. And I know you've been doing this for a minute, so give us your wisdom.
On the subconscious mind?
Yeah, the subconscious and the conscious mind, those two.
Well, good question. The subconscious mind tends to be very super linked and interlocked within the environment. And so I remember I had a vision when I was younger that we are all one mind, but where we are connected with that one mind is actually the subconscious mind. So I think it was Carl Jung, he talks about the collective unconscious. That's basically the subconscious. And so when we're completely operating out of that and just out of motor and out of reaction, we're operating out of the subconscious. And in a world now where maybe we don't have the most ideal society and we have a lot of negativity, fear, etc., you might not want to act out of your subconscious. However, if we were all living in nature like we used to, then I guess it makes sense why you would want to act out of your subconscious, because it's more about that animalistic survival instincts, which we began with, and that's why it's there.
Yeah.
But now we're at a, sorry. And then, so now we're at a point in our evolution, I guess, and in our age. It's a conscious evolution. So we're getting to the point now where a lot more people understand that we have a choice and that we are creators, because before there was only a select few, and it's growing and growing and growing. Because of that fact, and we need it more. We need to be conscious more now than we have been, just for the mere necessity of the health of our planet and the health of the people in it. Because the fear that we've been living has just been leading to multiple wars and a serious feeling of lack for everyone. I mean, you can see it on social media. I mean, how many people are looking for the likes? How many girls are looking at the girl that has the body showing, and they wish they had that body, and the guys are looking, and it's not in a good place, but it's not in a conscious place. Because if we were conscious, we would realize that none of that matters, because we're all light beings, right? The body is just an illusion. So that would be my sort of insight into it. Now, in terms of what Joseph Murphy in his book, and he talks about, it's a fantastic the way he lays it out, and Joseph Murphy has a great way of explaining things. But it's just so interesting and important to know that your subconscious is always listening.
Yes.
Yeah, always. And so I've said this before to even a few of my family members that have certain musical tastes, which I resonate with because I had it when I was younger. But sometimes you can enjoy something, but it doesn't have the best message or the best programming, right? So I'll give you an example. When I was younger, in my teenage years, I was very depressed and I had a lot of anxiety. I was always a deep thinker. Because of my deep thinking, it would put me into these loops of coming back to freaking myself out, thinking life is meaningless, right? So back then I used to listen to a lot of metal music, right? Rock and stuff, right? And it's not that you don't listen to these, but especially when you're in a subconscious level, the dark tones and the lyrics, the hateful lyrics, and all of these kind of sort of militant and uprisal lyrical messages can really have an effect on here, and then through that it seeps into your conscious mind, and you think you're thinking that, and then all of a sudden you're that thing, right? You're that monster. So I actually had a near-death experience when I was 19.
Cool.
So yeah, I was a like a rabid drinker. I drank a lot of alcohol because it was my only way to escape my mind. So yeah, I got involved with the wrong people and got attacked, and I had a near-death experience, and it was actually that experience which I'm super grateful for and lucky that happened to me, because if it wasn't for that experience, I probably would have continued to operate out of my subconscious mind, and who knows what would have happened. But that was a big conscious awakening for me and an instant download of understanding. That was when I was 19, about 7 years ago. And it was just the realization that we actually are creators. All of those teachings in the Bible, there was no separation. This idea of God that they speak about, we are that.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it all throughout history. Every person that has believed such has ended up going out and creating whatever they wanted to do, because they understood that. And then once you understand that every word that you speak is being fed and programming your subconscious, which is programming your body and everything around you, then you start to take the control back, right?
Yes.
And then once you start, and once you start to take that control back, for me, for example, I didn't need alcohol anymore because I could just switch things off, or I could just observe them, or I could, create a new feeling. Didn't know I had that power before. So, yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at now, and I guess I just want to spread that message to people. And I'm a lot more careful now what I listen to. But another thing is, though, it can be a skill. You can actually develop the skill. This is another thing I've learned. You can develop the skill to listen to that music, let's say, for example, that feeds you, but without accepting it and becoming too attached to it, right?
Yeah.
So you can kind of dip into it, listen to it, and kind of remember what it was like when you enjoyed it and stuff like that, but without letting it control you and stuff like that. But definitely, there's music is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
if you,
it does. Music is very powerful because it's like you will remember music you heard when you was like a child. You remember where you were and what you was doing. So you're right. Music is just powerful.
for sure. And there was something that is very interesting because we all have this access to the source, right?
Right.
Yes.
And once we actually have that meeting with the source, it's a place where there's no time. Time doesn't exist. It's just all happening. It's all now. Like this, now, tomorrow, yesterday is all in one sort of primordial soup, or some program or something. Some people call it the Akashic Records, right? And once you get a glimpse into those into that source, it's just a great way to sort of take that magnifying glass that's been like over your eye, kind of zoom out and realize, oh right, okay, I'm not just Christos, I'm everything. We are all one. And so it's also important as well when you see someone that's like operating out of the subconscious as a conscious being, to tell them the right things and use the right words for them. So one thing that I like to do on social media, and not many people need to probably do this more so we can make more of a conscious social media, but asking questions that lead only to positive answers.
Yeah,
right?
Love that.
Right, so try that out. When you're on your social media, that's what I would suggest. Ask more questions, you get more engagement, because you want to find people that are like-minded, but you want to help people too.
Yes.
So ask open, like I'll give you an example. For example, you'll say something like, what's your favorite thing about life? Or what do you love about yourself? Because they can't answer something negative.
That's great. What
right?
a great idea. I love that.
Yeah, and then they will post something, they'll comment, and then that will, enhance whatever they're saying and put it into their subconscious mind and make them feel great. And all of a sudden, over time, they'll start to see, or at least associate you with that person that always makes me feel great.
Oh, cool.
Right. And then, people over time, you'll notice that people will start to attract to you.
That's wonderful, because me and her, we had similar idea to that, feeding people the positive words. I think it's Napoleon Hill that cut out the word impossible out of dictionary. And there's some other people also who don't believe in, certain words belongs to in their vocabulary. So, and we have some sort of idea, but not in the way you are mentioning it. But definitely, this is something we can implement into our path and be able to share with with others, because we both know the words are powerful. Even if before I come contact to these information, I have always, with my family, that I have always avoided negative inputs, discussions or rumors. And I have always been the one who find out information the last minute. And I did not know why I was, structured that way. But now I know why, and that's why I am where I am, because I've been practicing it. Just like Edith says, she's been practicing certain things in a long time. And when you find these informations confirm with books and material, like, oh, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was practicing good practice pretty much. So yeah, and what I found out also is a lot of us would want to fight for the bad words or the bad information that is in us. And it's understandable. We cannot make a change just like that. But let's not fight. Let's not fight to keep those things, because it is real. We are creators by the words that we use, by the thoughts that we are thinking every single day. And let's replace it. Like I say last time, let's clean it out and let's put a good ones.
Right. That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Feng shui of the mind.
Yes. I think you give us valuable information. I enjoy my time with you.
I enjoyed
And I'm
it as
sure
well.
Yes.
Thank you for having me here.